guy with the DEQ, he may be a revenue source for you guys with some of these, removal of the old Milwaukee Bridge or the culvert issue. He said if it has anything to do with coal, he's got all kinds of money to.
Okay.
So,
Do you,
just
do you have his contact info in like your email and that?
let me try and find it and send it to you.
Yeah, if you
It's
would.
a Roundup Reach thing, but he was like, it's like this was a group of people that are plugged into our community in a way I was completely unaware of. And, who's the guy, Scott Graham?
Scott
Yeah.
Graham.
He's gonna be involved, and so, you know, they basically said this more than once, there's money if it has anything to do with coal, and if you're getting rid of an old Milwaukee Bridge and you're flood mitigating, it might be another source.
Perfect.
All right, I'll get that to you, and you can, you know, that was a side note. Go
No,
for it.
What
side
I
item.
just said, they're actually gonna be here, and Scott Graham will be here on the 27th of May, 28th of May.
Okay.
28.
What for?
Yeah, the 28th of May, they're gonna be here for, to go over,
It's a
make
Roundup
a
Reach
tour
meal,
of the-
it's a Roundup Reach meeting?
No, they're actually gonna make another inspection of the Bear Collins
Oh.
area and,
Oh,
and of course,
10
then
to
have to
12?
get back and talk to about all of the funding sources.
Well, and it's great that Scott's involved, because I thought he had retired, because I worked with Scott before.
Oh, yeah.
Good dude.
He moved on, he's not really retired.
He just moved on.
And he's got
Gotcha.
real interest in
He's
this.
good friends with the fella.
Very
and
nice.
So that's why they're inviting each other here.
What's
Cool.
his name, Babcock? John Babcock?
Yeah.
Sounds
Mike was on the meeting too.
I talked to him before, we were talking about the Milwaukee Bridge. He said, did they haul coal over it? And I said, they sure did. He said, that's all you need to know.
Wasn't that like one of our first governors?
He said, it smells like coal, he can get money.
Yep.
I don't know, it could have been.
So,
It's John Babcock, but we'll get you the.
okay. Wonder if he has any relation, because that name sounds so
Yeah,
familiar.
I'm sitting here going, that name Babcock.
Well, 40 years ago, we had a governor with the name of Bear.
Okay.
So I just,
Maybe that sort.
There we go. Fire side of things, Darren's done good. He's got all the old NIFRS reports have been submitted to the new NARIS system, so they're working on uploading that. Jason is working on getting the CAD integration, so it'll talk with the two softwares. And I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, they're planning on doing kind of a initial training session. So Jason, myself, Darren, probably Sergeant Malinowski will be kind of the main head people for the integration.
Good.
Let's see. Kind of discombobulated today. It was a long night. My son kept me up.
Oh,
Fire side of things, we did have a fire last night on High Butte.
oh, really?
Excavator caught on fire. So,
I saw that, yeah.
yep. So apparently, what happened is there were some bird nests in it, and they kind of cleaned it out the best they could. Fired it up, warmed it up, loaded it, and then when they went to go drive out of the field, it caught on fire.
Oh, be darned.
So they took their dozer or whatever else they had and just yanked it off the trailer and ended up burning the excavator pretty good. And,
Oh, the heck.
but it didn't spread anywhere, you know, because thankfully all this wonderful rain and green grass. False alarm this morning for fire department responses. Did have LEPC Tuesday.
Yeah.
Meeting went pretty good. I did hear Sean as they went out. So
Mhm.
is he paying for it then? Because that was
He said he
the
was gonna try and hit you up for.
Has these,
A donation.
a donation. Yeah, that's the reason it never did get ordered is because it's been
Yeah.
ready to order for the last year.
Yeah.
It was just determining who was gonna
Pay for it.
pay for
Well,
that.
if you guys can arrive at it, if not, if you can talk him into doing it, he says he's got enough money.
Okay.
I'm not trying to ruin his negotiating.
but he thinks it would be a really
But
good
the bottom line
idea.
is, you might as well get it over,
Yeah.
you know.
I still think it's a bottom of work.
It would.
Why not?
I mean,
Little bumpy.
Bottom.
What a hammock.
God.
cheap.
You better hope it's not you that needs to be on it. God.
Well, that is what he's hoping.
Put a dry, you get somebody with a seizure or something at the ground, they wanna be able to go to the side by side and put them in that, rather than the ambulance.
Well, we bought the
You get
fire
them off
unit
the
for
end.
it.
Sure.
And their cost
And I
should,
told
and
them
we
at the
bought
meeting, I
the
said, what's wrong
UTV
with the
itself.
bottom?
Their cost should
Throwing it
be
under
the
the bottom, burning
$3,500.
dry.
The skid unit,
Yeah.
and we've never got the okay to do it.
Oh, that's why he was in here. And I think
People are just so sensitive anymore.
All right, that was another, that kinda took us in a spin, didn't it? Way to go, Mike.
But yeah, no, I got it ready, so I'll just go ahead and buy it right now, use the county credit card, and then we'll just figure out when the bill comes, what fund to charge.
They said it was $3,600.
Yep.
It would, even though it's under the threshold, I still think it would probably be something, up to him, but out of CAPM, you know, his CAPM,
Yeah.
but it's up to him.
So-
And also up to you if you agree to.
Yep, we'll get it ordered. Like I said, I was just been waiting on yay or nay for a while.
You could talk to the city and see if they'll donate.
You're right on.
We all laugh.
Just a thought.
You sound pretty positive.
Oh yeah, it usually is. That's why I just wear flip flops, because then that way I don't have to clean my boots.
That's why I wear these. My shit boots for the coops and the cattle.
The meeting with RIDE went pretty well, we thought, so we got a pretty good safety plan.
Yeah.
Should be pretty,
God, that's coming up, isn't it?
it is coming up.
Coming up.
The only little hiccup in the whole thing was, so our new sanitarium was there.
Yeah.
And
Who is that?
Van,
Sanitarian?
yep,
Oh, really?
yep,
It was sanitarian.
inspects like,
Van-
public health,
Van Bucket.
Van-
septic systems, basically the ones that are in charge of all that kind of stuff.
Actually.
More outhouses out there,
Is that-
porta potties, and there is anything else.
Mm-hmm.
What's he got inspected?
He's gotta make sure that
Yeah, but
there's
company
enough porta
contract.
potties per person.
Their contract.
So for every
says someone that'll
75
help
people
more, among others.
That they plan, they have
Okay.
to have one porta potty. So if they're planning 4,000 people, they have to have 54 porta potties.
Yeah, and was that
And-
part of the discussion?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many do they normally have?
2.
I've seen a bank of them, but not
Yeah.
54 of them.
I think
No, they're
usually,
scattered
usually they got
around.
about like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems excessive.
It does, except the fact we watched several people pee themselves because the lines were too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
They did not
You
have
get
a
to
Well,
drop.
that's just,
Yep.
you know,
Nice.
fun to watch
Everybody starts
anyway.
drinking a bunch of beer, you gotta go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was fun until they peed them in our command trailer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
I use second base on the ball field.
yep, that's a good place too. Mine was first base.
You know, the mayor did say that the pool might not open, so
Yeah, the
just
pool's
use
not
that.
gonna
Just use the
Yeah,
pool.
there you
Like-
go, that's what my first thought. See, just go to the pool.
He
Like
goes
the
outside
South Park
Marcus
episode.
Thinker.
Multi-purpose use.
Exactly.
Well, 54 of them, that's gonna take up some real estate.
Yeah.
Just down the road.
Yep. And then making sure that the vendors have their food license and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it was all stuff that didn't get done last year because that's right when we didn't have the sanitarium.
Yeah, okay. So he's
So
doing his job.
he's doing his job and it sounds like it'll be pretty easy, and his big push is he hates to be the person to find people, so he wants to work with them to make sure that they, you know, do it and make it easy, so, you know,
So we don't,
yeah, learning experience.
we don't need to call or give out the Central Montana Health District's number anymore, give them this, because we get calls
Yep,
weekly.
yep, and Darren's got a card, we'll scan it and send it up to, oh, you got it?
He just gave me one.
Oh, perfect.
I
yeah.
hope you didn't want that, because I'm keeping it,
Go ahead.
okay?
Yep, that's who to call now for the sanitarium, because Central Montana contracted these guys. They couldn't hire their
Shoot,
own.
now another number I need to remember. I need to block that one out.
Darren, anything else? It's,
Yeah, Darren.
it's been kind of one of those weeks where,
I forgot we had LAPC, so.
Boyd came in from the refuse.
Oh,
We got all the permits and that set up, so they'll be burning the pit on Tuesday. We did authorize them to go ahead and start before daylight hours, so He's gonna light it off between 4 and 5 in the morning. So that way a bulk of the smoke and that'll be gone by the time people start waking up.
And that's provided there is a lot of wind, right?
Yeah, in theory, looking at that day, our sustained winds are only between 5 to 6 miles per hour, gusts up to 12, so for us, it's a fairly calm
But I
day.
mean, I'm just thinking in terms of process, you give them a permit, they select a day, but if all of a sudden you're having 40 miles of wind.
Yeah,
you guys say,
that-
no,
that-
don't do that.
Yep, then we'll cancel it.
Yeah,
So
okay.
he'll confirm Monday, afternoon, and then we already notified dispatch of the potential burn, and so, all those are.
Increasing chance of rain Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
think that-
Sunday, Monday, we're supposed to get quite a bit of rain again. Like 45% chance on Tuesday,
Yeah,
but that definitely has increased because it was at like 22%
yeah.
when we had it yesterday, so. Which is fine, I mean, that pile will be able to burn through the rain for a while
Of course.
and then it won't go anywhere, so.
Yeah, once it gets hot, it'll keep burning.
Yep, so it'll be a good day to burn.
Great, I'll bring the marshmallows.
Hey, I'm good with that.
I'm just lean this,
Are you?
lean the sticks, man.
The last time we burned it, someone had dumped off a couple of old recliners, so we drug them over to the pit and just sat there in the recliners for a couple hours.
The thing that struck me about that is they used to have that mannequin, remember?
Oh, yeah.
God, that was creepy.
Yep.
I thought that was funny, yeah, that
Yep.
was funny.
It just gave me the creeps. It was-
Well, the one day I went up there, they had the mannequin was sitting in the dozer with an Easter suit on.
Oh, hilarious.
You know, it's great when people can have fun at work.
Yeah, that was, actually was. Definitely, it was left an impression on me.
Other than that, that's kind of the main stuff for the week. It was just kind of a hodgepodge, catching up on a bunch of stuff. And then just as a reminder, and I know it's several weeks out, but starting May 30th until June 14th, I will be on my annual vacation. So if you need anything, Darren, because
That's usually when we get most of the work done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's in the paperwork.
Things start going a lot better. Not to make you feel bad.
Most of the fires.
Yep. And to be honest with you, my phone will be logged out and my work phone off, so
Oh,
won't be able to get a hold of me for 2 weeks because we're gonna be down in Utah and
yeah.
doing a bunch of camping and hikes and stuff like that. So
Wow.
figured get it out of the way early this year before fire season. So,
No, that's
Good
excellent.
plan.
Yeah.
Excellent.
but otherwise, that's kind of it. Anything?
Good deal.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I think we-
Just keep pursuing that mitigation money.
Yeah.
They signed those things today, I'll scan them and send them to you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Wait, did Cheryl didn't have to sign those, right? She's not here today. I don't think she did, there was no place.
Should
for her.
just-
Ben
I think we
suggested
just,
one of them.
yep.
The resolutions, good. Those resolutions, you know, when you get in this grant money, you just keep making sure we do a resolution so we get all the accounts right, and that way that'll solve that problem.
Yeah, and like I said, it's now that we kind of, as you like to say, know how the sausage is made. We'll definitely do it because before we sent all the information to the CFO, who was supposed to take care of that, and whether it got taken care of or not, now, you know, we never did look into it. We'd get numbers and be like, okay,
Okay,
that's
okay.
here, but whether the process was fully gone through,
All
we'll
right.
definitely check it from now on.
Well, and it's just a good practice, and maybe we did it, maybe we didn't, I don't know, but yeah, I was thrilled to see it, I guess. I'll
Yep,
put it that way.
Yep. So, I guess did I tell you guys that I did get the VFC
Yeah,
submitted? Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure. So,
voluntary fire
volunteer fire capacity.
capacity.
Yep. So,
Yeah,
all right. Other than that, that's all I got.
excellent.
Yep.
On the golf tournament.
Kelly, you're
Did
right
you?
on time.
We are, and the best part,
I'm gonna have to go
they
out.
got
one of these
Chinese
days
food
we'll have
today
to
up
golf.
there at A&W
I
parking
used to
lot.
golf all the
I'll
time.
be
Can you run it?
Chinese food at the A&W parking lot.
Yeah.
They got the
It's a
Orient
different
Express
lifestyle.
up there
People
today.
don't like it. They
He
really
does a
don't.
good job.
He
Take
does.
my card?
It's a great, I think it's a
Derek, do they
great.
take cards? I don't know, we're gonna find out today.
We're going to find out.
So I only got like $8
I'm gonna
cash.
follow you.
Perfect.
I'm a
You know, I think
Chinese
he
food
does.
man.
Does he?
Because
It works.
I ate there once before and I think he did.
Perfect.
Okay.
But just give it a try.
What are you guys talking about?
The Chinese.
Chinese place.
It opened up again?
Well, they got the
Food car.
food truck up there.
He's got
Oh,
This is good. Let's see.
So we're gonna go get some Chinese and then go to the office.
Get some Lugu guy pants.
Gentlemen, thank you, ladies.
That's my favorite.
Gentlemen, take my chair.
Sweet sour stuff. I used to get sweet sour
Sour
pork.
nut.
I make my own Moo Gai
You
Pan
got your
now.
chair back.
I just like saying it.
Those guys do that
That's-
just
that was
for
my
fun,
mom's.
and I know.
Those things
And I knew as soon
so
as I
much
stepped
better.
out here to talk to the sheriff,
Somebody
they were gonna
nab
be in
your
my chair when we got back.
Gonna nab your chair.
I'm gonna
It's,
start
I think
moving
it's, I don't
that.
wanna start anything, but I think it's a lack of respect.
All right.
I mean, they know that's your chair. I don't wanna start anything, but they don't seem to
Well,
care.
what they're not expecting is I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna undo about 3 of the bolts on the bottom of this thing. They're gonna sit on and topple right over. And I'm gonna be sitting out there going, uh-huh.
Try that chair again.
Beer.
Well,
We'll have some Chinese food.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know, but I remember that place that was selling Chinese food that's at the old A&W or whatever?
Yeah, it only lasted a week.
Yeah, but they were buying frozen Chinese food meals and they were cooking them in the microwave. And they
One
were,
of the things in China.
and I'm like, wait a minute, this looks like, it's like a
It's
little,
like a penguin.
it's horrible. It's a joke.
They burnt the place
They
down.
burnt the place down.
Serve them right.
Yeah. Everybody's so excited, we got Chinese food, they had lines of people
Yeah. Go to the grocery store and get the same.
Yeah. and, wait a minute. Well, should we go to lunch?
Well, do we have
Darcy?
Oh, Darcy.
Will and Kelly?
Oh, yeah, Bird. That'll be interesting.
You know what, and just my own thoughts on that, part of why I wanted to set up a meeting, a weekly meeting or bi-weekly meeting. I don't care about the past. Let's just get it straight moving forward. Because we got them saying this and her saying that. It will meet, we'll have regular meetings, you'll have a chance to get your issues out.
Both of them had things going on where they could not contact each other, and that's what started a lot. And Kelly did not have an office.
Yeah,
She was having to do everything from home. She didn't even have a connection yet with Josiah, and now she's got it. And so things are kind of coming
Coming
together.
together for her.
I do think it's important she follows their process from a liability
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
We need to have that documentation.
Well, mine, I'm not sure that she's worth $60,000. Although she can talk $60,000 a minute.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
God, I would,
Well,
don't put a quarter in her.
I hated her contact, what did she say? Sink or swim. Well, she had thrown her to the wolves.
She's very passionate.
That's how I was brought up.
Well, why
The
are you
idea is to
paying
throw
her?
me out in the winter.
Well, what she was talking about is getting the documentation.
Right, she was worried about documentation, yeah, I
And
understand.
I'm not sure that Kelly can do that. We don't.
What happened is Kelly is a self-starter, she's very intelligent, and she said, I'm not gonna school with you guys anymore, you're not responding to me.
She can go online and get all the therapists she needs, she said.
But on the
And
flip
the
side,
same ones probably that Amber is using.
But she's not doing.
but what Amber woke me up to is, there's the provider network, but there's also this training and this documentation that we need to be protected,
We need to be protected, and it actually would help her with
Yes.
her master's.
Yes, I think it would.
I assume she is documented, but we'll ask her. She's gotta be, why wouldn't she be?
Why wouldn't she be?
Well,
And I don't know how many patients she has, because she said she finally just got one high school student, that 17-year-old. I I don't think she's, well, she just barely got into the school.
Well, I think she has had other patients sign up, and she
Yeah.
hasn't used
Oh, she's
their
had several-
system.
She's had several adults, I think.
No, I think at the school.
Well,
Could be wrong, you might be right. You might be better plugged into it. I just think that we've got two people saying the exact opposite. And that's why I thought that the regular meetings where now, Kelly, you come to this meeting, you have your list of things they're not doing. Or you guys are working things out and they're getting resolved, and
Yeah,
at some point we won't need those meetings.
there's a big disconnect between the two of them.
I got tired of listening to her.
No, I got
She
it.
impresses me as a person that's trying very hard to prove she's reliable and she's necessary.
Yeah, she's trying to tell you how great she is and how wonderful she is and how much you need her, and it's
But
like,
she should be able to say that in a few words, you know?
yeah,
I'll offer a product here. But she just goes on.
you're beating a dead horse, give me a break, stop.
No, I think it was good. It's good. I'm glad you said we need to move on. It's like, okay, that's what I said, let's
Yeah,
get it set up in that way, but I don't think there's any utility in trying to say who's right and who's wrong. I think let's just move forward. That's my own 2 cents. Now, you're kind of suggesting maybe we don't spend that 60 grand, maybe we don't bring
That's what
it
I'm
up.
suggesting.
We need to talk about that. But I'm smelling liability and, you know, and Kelly may have crossed her i's and dotted her t's, but that's part of what we're paying for, is making sure that that work is done.
Well, why would their insurance be better than ours?
No, liability meaning that Kelly's doing the things she's doing so that somebody doesn't sue,
Yeah.
you know, so,
That's a given. She should be doing it, probably is, we don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But they've got a system where all that would be it's got like a nice little checkbox, all that would be in their database, and
yeah.
and the reason she wants her to use the system, to be frank, is then she can report her statistics on how successful the program is.
True.
There you go.
Exactly.
So she can
But-
sell it to more people.
Yeah, but on the flip side, that helps us sell it
Mhm.
too, you know, unless we keep that data. I don't know, I honestly don't know what to do other than, I think what we're getting out of Catalyst is a provider network, training, and liability, you know, and documentation. And that's worth something that we don't get if we do it on our own.
How much?
Exactly.
The provider network is on, like Kelly said, it's online, and I think it's probably the same ones that Ever uses. So and documentation, well, yeah, that's a given, but
Well, it's, you know, PII and all that.
it's the same thing that should've went on at the senior center, they should've been documented, and they have it. But that was the board.
Inefficient.
At some point, Ben, we'll need to circle back with you on feasibility of us being able to step into that muscle cell council agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have to.
So is it Darcy? I'll ask her.
Darcy can if she wants.
No, I'll say Darcy if you got
She
it.
might not have nothing to tell us.
Oh, she'll have something to tell us.
Will she? She's got something in mind?
No?
That is absolutely unbelievable
She doesn't have anything?
that she doesn't have it.
Yeah.
You think she'd make something up?
No. And then so Monday, what's her name again? That's coming in for the accounting?
Oh,
Yeah, what is it?
Justina?
Justina.
Justina,
She's gonna be in?
Too.
Justina.
Justina.
It's not Justine, it's Justina.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what we sometimes accidentally call Justin.
Yeah. And he likes it.
I spell his name right, I spell it Justin with an E, and that's Justine. And he does not like that, he calls me Roberto.
Roberta.
Touche.
Yeah, Roberta, yeah.
Yeah, Roberta.
Well, we could go eat. You guys
Well,
ready?
is
Yeah,
Kelly
well,
coming
Oh,
in?
I keep forgetting that.
I mean, Kelly,
Yeah, she's probably coming, but I wonder if she's, no. All right, okay, yeah, you're right.
Do we
gotta
have
wait
a,
for-
I don't know if we have a phone number.
Tina.
No, Kelly.
It's not vacation, believe me.
Flowers or pens? Pens or flowers?
I don't have her.
All right, that thing you forwarded, Mike, was the same one I forwarded you.
I just looked at them. Yeah, they're both the same.
I'm
Same
assuming
articles.
that is the Bull Mountain Planning Act modification. that
Yeah,
they got
it
in
is,
there.
it is.
It is, it's just for the, it's just the modification of the existing permit.
For the allowance, mine
But
that.
here's
The
what
800
scared me.
acres, Yeah,
What is it?
the part about the reduction in
Yeah,
tax.
it says, in addition to directing the Interior Department to authorize an expansion of the Bull Mountain line, the bill allows for non-competitive leases of federally owned fossil fuels, creates a pathway for companies to pay for expedited review and guaranteed approval of the environmental impact statements, reduces royalty rates for coal, oil, and gas.
Yes.
Yeah,
And reverses the, but then they talk, and then reverses Biden administered moratorium in northern Montana. So I wanna know if this bill affects royalty rates
well,
Specifically
for
on
the Signal
that
Peak
mine.
mine. Yeah, I
Because
think
I
they're
can
really
see
referring to the
To the
Wyoming.
Powder, yeah, the
Yeah.
Powder River Basin.
which is paying a lot higher royalty, aren't they?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
So, maybe they'll reduce it to what we get.
They pay 5 times what this mine pays.
Yeah.
Man, I don't see how they can give this one much of
If
a
there's,
reduction.
Yeah.
if there's no impact to reducing our rates, even though if there were crap we could do about it because they put them in this big bill. I'm all for this because we want that Bull Mountain modification, we want that.
Yeah, yeah, that'll give us that time. to
That time,
Keep
yeah.
working on the other.
And we'll still get our revenue
Yeah,
while they mine the federal coal during that. So,
yeah, it'd be a win for us.
I was afraid they would slip in the coal revenue.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know they won't yet.
Well, we don't know they haven't, because we haven't seen the bill.
That's true.
With that, I got a text from, I'll read it to you.
Now, we aren't being recorded, we can talk about,
Oh, yeah, maybe we should.
we'll talk about it here.
I don't think I need to do this.
Well, the Northern Plains is watching them bills. They would have probably notified us if that had been
Well,
happening.
that thing is from Brady, so you're
I
right.
mean, they notified us on this one.
Well, I got it in my feed, and I read it, and when I saw that reduce the rates, I about went through the roof. I'm like, it was sneaky, you know, but no, I don't think that's.
So,
And then we did get the thing from Sue Olson, you read it, but that really has more to do, we gotta maybe make sure Teresa gets, matter of fact, you got that, I'm gonna ask if we can scan this.
well,
But
that's
she's
not a
basically
problem.
saying we can reapply, we haven't used it in a year, so they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we can reapply.
And when we
We've
reapply, it'll
been
be,
cautious in getting things done, so that's why it wasn't spent.
Yeah.
And I think once we explain that, they're probably,
Well, and then we're gonna ask for more,
exactly.
so.